This world has nothing for me. This life is not my own. I know you go before me, and I am not alone.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It is Tuesday, April 23rd, 2013, and this is Flashpoint Radio. I am your host, as always, Jay-Z. Thank you for joining me. Follow me on Twitter at Flashpoint Radio, Facebook.com/Flashpoint Radio, and please share this information with your friends and families, those you care about. Share all independent media. Tell them to turn off that thing when they look to get their information, and go to another source, a source that's not funded by Think Progress or the White House or George Soros or the Koch brothers. We are going to, on this edition of Flashpoint Radio, tie up Boston and throw it to the side. We can't spend any more time on this. It's becoming a distraction. But I'm going to point you to some articles, have you ask yourself some questions, and then we'll see what's come since then. And then finally, we will finish this evening looking at what happened while we were looking at Boston. And what it is to show you one thing in this hand while this hand is robbing you. It's called misdirection, people. And it doesn't take a planned stage event. It's like Rahm Emanuel said, you can't let a good crisis go to waste. So they've got plans ready to go when something happens. I guarantee it. It's the government. They've got to get theirs when they can. So let's get right into it this evening. And if you want to find some questions, some unanswered questions, go to this article from Michael Snyder and the American Dream. I got it through Infowars.com. 17 unanswered questions about the Boston Marathon bombing the media is afraid to ask. It goes over, you know, the people we saw who it turns out may have been National Guard troops, but they weren't mentioned, to some of the reports from the family members of these two gentlemen. Read the article. Look at the links. Everything is sourced in all of this man, Michael Snyder's articles. He is great. Moving along, another article from Infowars.com. New pictures purport to show Tsarnaev brothers engaged in firefight with police. Some more pictures have been released. Looks like a firefight. I'm not sure, but the person that took the pictures said they did not see the elder Tsarnaev brother get run over. That's strange, considering his aunt said that the naked man arrested, and the footage of the naked man that was arrested after the elder Tsarnaev supposedly died, was Tamerlan. She says that was him. I don't know what's going on. The FBI was in contact with him over 2 years ago. His mother said for 5 years. They were tipped off by the Russian government, and they were told to look into it. They looked into it and said, nothing here. Or is it they looked into it and said, we could use this to our advantage, like we've used all the other convoluted, contrived setups that they've done over the last 10 years. Christmas Day bomber, the bomber in Portland, the Christmas tree bomber, the Times Square bomber. The FBI's got their fingerprints all over them. There's plenty of proof for that. So please watch these videos. It's got links and video to the mother of these two gentlemen saying it was a setup. The one thing I know is there are so many conspiracy theory points to look at on this event that it seems like it was almost set up to discredit people who question the official narrative. Like they threw out all these data points that were false, fake, to get people talking. Alex Jones, people on other blogs on the internet, other independent media sources, get them asking these crazy questions so the mainstream media can turn and look at them and say, you're nuts. Look at these nutso people. They believe anything. I don't know. So you have to do your own research. You have to come to your own conclusion. But one thing did come, and one thing we did see in this, and that was just the degradation and how low our society here in America has fallen. And that is, of course, my opinion, as everything else here is on Flashpoint Radio. From Boston.com, the Metro Desk, viewing photo of dead suspect cathartic for some law enforcement officers. His mouth is agape, his face is awash in blood, on his left side is a wide gash where doctors cut him open to try to save his life. The images of Tamerlan Tsarnaev. Leaked images of the elder Tsarnaev brother from the morgue, from the examination table, were sent out. And well, this reporter asked some unnamed police detectives, some unnamed police officers, and they said passing it around was a rare chance to, quote, revel, while other officers searched for Sarnev's brother. The official said, mission accomplished, quote, we're halfway there, justice is served. So this man died, can't be questioned, no motive, no anything, no due process, and they're cheering. This is the police. But it doesn't end at the police. What would you expect? We're going to go show you some video of what happened. This is some video of some college students right after the younger brother was captured. Let's go to the footage. This is what American youth have come to. Taking to the streets to sing, "We are the champions," and chant, "Boston, Boston, Boston." I mean, this is America. Do we not remember how upset Americans got when they saw this?
The United States blamed by some Palestinians for its ongoing support, as it is seen, of Israel. Some Palestinians were taking to the streets in apparent celebration. One youth was quoted as saying, as he received a sweets handed around in celebration.
I know it's not the same. A lot more people died in 9/11, but it's the same sentiment. It's the same process these people are going through. I mean, they're cheering the death of people or the capture. And there were people in the crowd in Boston wanting them to simply murder the younger Sarnev brother. They didn't want any due process. They wanted no trial, no interrogation. They just wanted him murdered. What have we become? That we cheered the death of any person, no matter how heinous their crime. This is America. I thought we had laws. I thought we had due process. And this gentleman is an American citizen. Hate to say it. He got his citizenship. But if you want to watch a good video breakdown of the cheering by Americans after the capture of the younger Sarnev, please click on the link below from Life Liberty Now on YouTube. He does it's a great 3-minute piece asking those questions. But let's look and see what's happened since then. From U.S. News and World Report, industry. Drones could have helped Boston Marathon bombing responders. So the big debate, one of the big debates over the last 6 months has been drones flying in America. Well, because of that Boston bombing, they have another reason to put them in the sky. From thepoliticker.com, Bloomberg says interpretation of Constitution will have to change after Boston bombing to allow for greater security to stave off future attacks. The people who are worried about privacy have a legitimate worry, but we live in a complex world where you're going to have a level of security greater than you did back in the olden days, if you will. And our laws and interpretation of the Constitution, I think, have to change. Remember, Benjamin Franklin, one of the people involved in writing those founding documents, said, no amount of security is worth trading any amount of liberty. That's what our country was founded on. Our country was founded on, I'll go ahead and take my chances on my own, thank you very much. You cannot prevent me from leaving a corrupt system. That's what we have to fight against. From govinfosecurity.com, amending HIPAA for background checks. The Department of Health and Human Services is considering amending the HIPAA privacy rules to remove barriers for states reporting information about potentially dangerous mental health patients for use in background checks on gun purchases. This is slated to be published in the Federal Register on April 23rd, which is today. So 1 week after Boston, looks like HIPAA, remember, Obamacare is going to get gun control passed. They're going to change their policies. Unelected bureaucrats changing policy. Not exactly how our country was founded. Also from usnews.com, Texas congressman uses Boston bombing to argue for CISPA passage. And that's what we missed last week. The passage of CISPA, the Cybersecurity Internet Sharing and Protection Act that's supposed to keep us safe, which tells private companies that they can just give all personal information of all their users to the federal government and they won't be held liable. And, well, not just the federal government, but also private firms that work with the federal government. Sounds like a good idea to me. And this is from Representative Mike McCall out of Texas, a Republican. So Texas, move down to Texas, Rick Perry says. We're going to watch you and surveil you on the internet. Yeah, the Republicans don't care about you. The Democrats don't care about you. From ABC Local, CISPA bill in limbo after it passes House, Senate too busy. And I pulled out of this, just this little piece. Representative Adam Schiff had tried to amend the bill to require companies to strip any data of personally identifiable information before sharing it with the governments. But Republicans blocked it. So some people at least tried to say, we don't need all of this personal information. We're just aggregating a bunch of data in order to see trends. But nope, they need your name and everything else along with that data. UK Mail Online, U.S. employees set to be forced to give bosses their Facebook password. And an amendment was proposed that said companies couldn't ask or have as a condition of employment their employees' Facebook passwords. Struck down. So if all this passes, your boss can say, give me your Facebook password. If you don't, you can legally be fired. Sounds like America to me. But from defense.gov, they're asking for, additional cybersecurity to protect critical infrastructure, but they wanted to make sure this. We understand that our emails, this is Department of Defense, and other information is watched, monitored by the U.S. government. While those rules apply to DoD employees, he said, the government does not monitor the systems of defense contractors, and under no program is that going on. This is the government protecting its minions. Government contractors' emails cannot be read by the government. Citizens' emails can. See how that works? A good boil down, just for you to read from ZDNet. CISPA passes U.S. House. Death of Fourth Amendment. Yeah, I'd say it's a near-death blow to our Fourth Amendment. Read that article, please. I don't have time to go over it. And finally, this came out today, which is piggybacked on top from InfoWars. Government to launch internet sales tax on back of CISPA. Yes, so now they're saying, as Jay Carney, the press secretary, said today, that the internet sales tax is simply about leveling the playing field. Leveling the playing field. Brick and mortar stores, they rely on customers, and they're being undercut by people who don't need brick and mortar to operate and can just use some form of shipping. And so since the government likes to play favorites, they got to step in and say, you can't do that. We got to get ours. So yes, internet sales tax, all you people who think you're going to get by buying things on Amazon, no longer. And this is from last week. And this was kind of scary. Just a little quip from this, from The Hill. GOP fast tracks bill to fortify Obama's high-risk pool. This is the problem I have with this. The GOP is pushing for this. And this little line from this article may be telling for the future. The new measure follows a letter from House GOP leaders to President Obama asking him to make that move without congressional action, reopening the high-risk pools, people with pre-existing conditions. The Republicans are asking President Obama to sign executive orders to forego the House's constitutional right to those powers in order to get something passed dealing with Obamacare. What world do you live in? But it ain't the America I thought I knew. We'll have more information, no Boston-related information come Thursday, just new, pertinent truth. That's all we're going to try to give you here. Jay-Z signing off for Flashpoint Radio saying God bless and keep your eyes to the sky.
Whatever